Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 8, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release the podcast on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love. Follow us on our Twitch channels. Check us out on our podcast services, and definitely give us a nice like. Tell us what you think of the show, and we go on from there. I am Davis Green with CFG Games, and with me are a group of fellow gamers, a huge gamer, an awesome Twitch streamer, aka the backlog queen, Sesh Evans. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I was actually wondering who you were going to introduce first with that intro.
Oh, I always introduce you first. Yeah, always introduce. Nothing different, even though. So how's it been going with you? I know you're getting ready for a trip.
I'm getting ready for a trip. I'm getting ready to start some full-time work. I'm getting ready to just finally settle in and just have a little stability.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Everything's very, very hectic right now.
Man, the weight's just all coming down on you all at the same time. That's freaking awesome.
Always all happens at once. So I'm very used to this. This is my normal.
That's funny. What have you been streaming recently?
Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh man, it is fun. It's really fun. I'm loving it. I'm annoyed I have to do side quests just because the story is so good. The side quests are fun, but the story is fun, and it's the story, and I love the lore. So I'm really into it. I'm actually taking my PlayStation on this trip, so we'll see if I can stream. If I can't, then I'm gonna get all those side quests done.
Well, if you can stream it, I mean, you can stream it. You can probably stream it directly from your PC or for your system, right?
I could. I'm gonna look into doing that while I'm away. Do they do that?
Yeah.
I mean, you just do the game and the voice with your. I've never streamed from a system.
Yeah, there's a Twitch app. That's actually how I started too. Yeah, there's a Twitch app inside the system that you can that you log into. Then you can record it. Then you can stream it from there.
I might try it. We're gonna see how the internet is too. It's just. I'm bringing everything for the 3 off days or 4 off days I'm gonna have. So.
Yeah, I also need to give you the badge too because I got the UPC codes for that too. By the way, so
awesome.
Yeah, so just remind me and I'll be able to do it.
I'll try to remember.
Okay. And I have the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the 3rd seat. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing well, my friend. I am. It's noon right now. We streamed last night. I was a good boy. I went to bed early. I was very cognizant of it. I literally woke up probably about half an hour ago. So I'm still, I got a little coffee in me, but I'm feeling good. Ready to do this. That
is great to hear. I know. Remember the other day we were playing some Division 2 and we were also doing some slow jams that night too. Let's play some.
Gotta keep it weird.
I forgot. What was the name of that one guy? The dude that we thought that was that's pretty close to being racist almost. I forgot the name.
Wait, somebody's name?
Yeah, Jumbo something. I forgot it. Oh, I can't remember. It was hilarious. I kind of gone on a rant on this guy. I was like, I hate this guy's song, and then we just got really in through. I don't know. It was really funny. I was just like, dang. But definitely check out Smitty's stuff though. Smitty2447, always a cool variety streamer, and also review Sesh if you want to check out some awesome variety streaming as well. And I think today is going to be a jam-packed streaming day as well. After this, I'm playing some Monster Hunter Worlds, and then we're going to try let's cross our fingers for the raid of the Division 2. So definitely stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's get into it right now. So basically, the way it works is that we will each pick a topic or news discussion within video games or from the video games industry from the previous week. The topic would or could include a specific game or something that happened during that time. We don't and we also don't want to just talk about our own topics. We want you, the viewer or the listener, to participate as well. So if you are listening to us on Twitch right now actively, inside the Rooms tab up at the very top, you can go select CFG GameCast, type in a topic that you think that you want to hear us talk about and discuss, and we'll put it on at the end of the show. Or you could just tweet us at the Comic Freak, and we'll be able to do it at a later date. But usually we want you involved. But let's get to it. Since it's my turn to stream on my channel, I think it's only natural for me to go first. Excuse me. So I guess my thing is going to be about Division 2. I'm actually surprised that I'm actually talking about Division 2. But I've been on this hype because this, I don't know if people already know, but they just announced through Division that they're going to be doing an 8-man raid, which is basically 2-set team going through, I believe it's the airport, right? Is it Washington DC airport? Is the scenario?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. And
I haven't really checked it out yet. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this is actually kind of a big deal because I don't think did Division 1 have anything like this originally?
It had the incursions. There were like 3 or 4 different incursions, but there were still only 4-person teams. Mm-hmm. So I think this is something completely different, but it gets me excited. Go ahead, please.
Oh yeah, so this is the very first time they're doing an 8-man. So basically, it's going to be 2 different teams of 4 that's going to be playing together, and you have to communicate. There's no way that you could just go in and do it your own thing. And what I'm bringing this up is the reason why I'm bringing this up was that there was a recent report from I want to say from a website. I don't have the website in front of me, unfortunately. That they also said that because of they looked at the numbers of the game of Division 2, that the digital copies from Uplay sold 10 times more than not 10 times more than the physical copies that was released ever on the for Division 2, which is already a highly selling game. Yeah, and I was
wow.
Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, dude, like this is crazy that they're doing that they're doing these kind of this greatness of a game like this. I mean, specifically games as a service, personally not a fan of, but this one does it the best I've seen. And it's making me when I heard about this 8-man raid thing, just makes me hyped even more. And I just think that like this is exactly if any other company specifically wants to do like this in the near future or what in the future like this is the exact thing that they need to copy, because they're doing it. They're just killing it, man. I mean, I don't would you agree with me, Smitty?
Dude, I mean, I said this from the get-go, where, when we were talking about, I think from episode 1, when we were talking about what Anthem and, comparing Anthem and Division 2 together, the most important thing to me, that they learned, that Ubisoft learned, was they built off of the tail end of the Division, the build, how good it got, how everybody went back and was loving it, that 1.8 update. They took that and use that as an infrastructure, and they're building off of that. And I think it shows because, again, these service games, they have rocky starts. They have, it usually takes a good year or 2 before they actually start going. Like these guys came in and they are just rocking and rolling. They are kicking ass. The loot's great. It's a lot of fun. 8-person raids. What? I love it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, this was the game that I should have been backing the whole time and getting hyped on. And I feel like a fool that I didn't realize it. But as soon as thank God this game came out though, because my bank was on Anthem, and if this game wasn't out, I don't know what I'd even be playing. Oh. It's good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's just really nice. I mean, Sesh, have you played Division or like?
I haven't played either. I contribute so little to this.
Oh, that's okay. Because like prior to this, like I never played Division before, but then I just thought something about the game kind of drawn me in. Maybe because of the disappointment I had with with what's called Anthem, it just kind of really just pushed me to say, okay, let me give this a shot. Let me try this again, but this time let's see like how meaty like the services was, because in my opinion, if Division 2 was as bad as what, like, you know, kind of gave me that impression of what Anthem gave me, I think I would have been done. I don't think I would ever get play that kind of service. But I just like it has a little bit of RPG elements into it, has a little bit of a lot of bits of action, and just so many different kinds of loot that it's like is what makes the game really cool to play with people.
I can see that being super fun, and I like that sometimes, but for me it's like those things sometimes push me away from some games. I'm like, oh god, loot, I don't want to deal with loot and items and that, and I don't want to play the game and then just upgrade my weapon and then that's it and then I'm good. I don't want to, you know, like I'm really big on that. I'm not big on like item management, inventories. Like I hate dealing with inventories in games.
I can see that.
You're not a fan of like RPGs or anything like that?
Not really. I'm really not. Like the most I've gone into it is Mass Effect, and those are my biggest complaints about that series. But like that one, like I'm a huge sucker for like just hard sci-fi and like stories and like characters. So like it didn't even bother me. That's like still like one of my favorites. So like I'm curious. I want to get into it because like those games are like sci-fi games, and I'm really interested, and like I want to see the worlds that they've built around what the games are. But if like the focus is like the upgrades and the cool stuff you can do, I'm kind of like, oh, but I want to know about the cool stories. So I'm gonna go play a story game. So I just have to have that's just where my priorities are for gaming. So I'm like, we'll see with Anthem.
They give Sesh like BioWare gives Sesh, is like, oh, what did you not like about the game? And then she's like writes down, oh, there's just too many guns to manage or stuff like that.
Dude, I hate having so many extra guns. I got the Resident Evil, I got the extra gun because I got the upgraded, the non-standard when you buy it in advance, and I'm like annoyed. I'm like, I want to take both of these and I have limited bag space. This is super annoying.
That's a little different though, because you have like a ridiculously low amount of bag space when you're in that game.
True.
So like it's like, oh great, I got another gun that takes what three blocks or so. Like,
then I gotta go use it and test it out and see which one is actually better. Because like I don't know, you know, like, and sometimes I mean that game doesn't have the like, you know, specific stats of the guns. So I'm like, maybe it's not better than this other gun. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the one thing about the one thing about the raid that I was also wanting to mention though too was it's work from what I'm gathered, no one's beaten it quite yet. It's only day 2.
No, it's been beaten.
Oh, it's been beaten?
It has been beat. It got beat in 5 hours.
Oh golly, these people.
Oh.
Yeah, on PC.
Oh, okay.
On console, it's broken.
Yeah, console's glitched though. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
You can't beat it on console officially yet. Not yet. So
crazy. How does that happen? How does that happen?
That sucks.
It's called bad QA. You know what? I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out right now what's going on with it, because like that's the biggest thing. It's like how does that work?
Yeah, and so what I've been hearing about the raid so far is that it is super hard. You have like only like a couple of health packs that you can use. I think you have a finite amount of times that you can die before you can't get res or something like that. Like I heard it's ridiculously hard, which don't get me wrong, a raid should. I feel like though, but you kind of ramp up to the hardness, you know what I mean? And like I'm hearing people are having issues even getting past the first boss. And I don't know how many bosses are there then. You can't get past the first boss. Like, that seems like people are saying that they're just getting absolutely melted by the NPCs. And they're like, you know, like kind of like, I think there's still some glitching going on even in there where like the people are moving like at Mach speed and like,
wow. Oh, dude.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna listen to any of those complaints. Video games are easier nowadays, so people are just too used to that. So this is probably just normal.
You're right. And that's not complaining.
This is hard.
Okay, but there's two different kinds of things. Well, first off, I'm taking a look on some of these articles. Forbes is saying this was an article that they released 7 hours ago that it's been 2 days and no clears on both PC and console. But I don't know.
No clears?
Yeah. So that's weird. So I don't know. I want to double check that. I don't want to be wrong on that. And let's see. 24 hours once. They said that players on Xbox One and PS4 have failed repeatedly, leading to discussions on the rates is far too difficult for these playing on console. So I don't know if it's a glitch or if they're specifically saying that it's if it's specifically saying that there is a problem with the game itself. Maybe it's just too hard. I don't know. But like, and it kind of goes to Sesh's point that it's like if people are saying until you know what, I'm not going to say anything because we haven't played it yet, and I want to see like I want to see what do they mean by too hard. Well, yeah, because there's two things. There's two factors. If it's hard to be hard, kind of like if it's like a Dark Souls thing, then that's the cool thing about Dark Souls. But if it's hard and it's not being fair on being hard, then that's a different story. So like if
it's like technically or if it's like programmed near impossible where things don't actually make sense for you to be able to do what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's too much.
Yeah, so
I hope not. I mean,
it's not
oversight.
It's very possible though, because like I mean, if you remember, have you played Final Fantasy 14 the first time around when it came out? Not before they changed it to what we know it today.
Very low.
I
did. Out of friends for an hour.
Oh yeah, I did, and it was terrible. Like we couldn't even beat ladybugs in that game because it was just hard to be hard. It was ridiculous, and you were paying monthly for it. Well, the idea was to pay monthly. During that time it was free because
with the leveling up, like you have to actually spend like 20 hours per level, and there's like hundreds of levels, and every enemy is very specific. You can barely find an enemy like one level above you.
Let's just say like that, right? Like, let's say in a long story short, first Final Fantasy 14 was a rolling dumpster fire when it first came out, because there was two different leveling that you had to do. There was ridiculous what you had to do just to farm, and what you had to do just to make stuff. So yeah, it was a really, really tough game. But but we'll put a pin on that until I think Smitty and I are going to try to do the raid tonight.
Good luck. You guys can do it. Yes.
Are you streaming that, Smitty, by the way?
I'm gonna try if my PC doesn't hate me today.
Yeah, you try and see how it goes. But okay, but yeah, that's cool. But anyways, definitely hyped for Division 2's raid. Nice transition session. I was gonna be saying. Okay, and now
I have a dish over here. I was knocking my desk around.
I like the cat behind you. I like the cat behind you. Was like, what the heck was that? It's freaking out. All right. So now it's going to. I'm done with mine. Let's go with Sesh. It's going to be yours.
Yeah.
So what's your topic, Sesh?
So I actually wanted to talk a little bit about video game movies, but then I'm remembering, and it could be up to you guys. It's a super tiny little bit. I'm sure you two are familiar with Justin Wong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like if you know esports, you know Justin Wong, and he had tweeted this really great list. What puts into perspective the Game of Thrones as nerfs and buffs and what's been happening, and just every episode, and it was just brilliant. And I thought it was just so funny. And I'm realizing, I don't know if you guys will want to talk about that, but I just thought it was a really fun perspective on that. I know I'm going to get into another topic.
I don't think I want to do that because I am behind on Game of Thrones, so I don't want.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to spoil it or anything for you. There was very clearly there are patch notes that he released for an episode of Game of Thrones. Once you come across this episode, please read these notes. It's hilarious. It's perfect. It's this character's buff. This character's plot armor was removed. It's just stuff like that. And it was just a super funny perspective.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at it when I'm up to date.
Yeah, going more into what I was initially going to talk about is I actually wanted to talk a little bit broadly about like just video game movies, because I know our last topic's going to be a big one, so I wanted to give it a lot of space. So the Pikachu movie came out this last weekend. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hearing very good things about it. And I was reading about it, trying not to spoil it for myself, obviously. And I was going with low expectations, but it has a 64 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is It's all right.
For Rotten Tomatoes,
all right.
that's good. Yeah.
And I was wondering how good that is objectively, and most other video game based movies on Rotten Tomatoes has about a 18, 20 or much lower
Total.
which is so it's shocking. It's like 3 times shockingly better than a lot of other video game based movies. So I'm very excited to see it, and I think it's really interesting to talk about that, how we're finally kind of adapting these things better. Which we have this one as one example of adapting it well, and there's yet to be seen who knows of Sonic. I mean, an update on that one is they are actually changing the design now.
Yeah.
So people have made enough of a horrified fuss about his teeth and other weird Uncanny Valley issues that it's like real life Uncanny Valley. Like, it's not like he's Uncanny Valley in the normal sense where it's like, oh, this just looks a little off. It's like his design is just so uncanny.
Well, Frankie, I remember Frankie last week was talking about the Sonic thing, and then and you're totally right. When you were talking about the gaming ones, it's actually funny. Like, first off, before you go any further, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like,
it's cool.
What is the worst video game movie that you can think about? Like, what's the worst video game movie you watched? Like, in your mind? And Bob.
Mario Brothers.
No. It's the Ubol movies.
Oh yeah, Ubol.
All of them.
Ubol made in the early
Dead Island.
He made House of the Dead.
House of the Dead. Yes.
He did,
that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
He did Blood Rain. Yeah, he did the Blood Rain series.
Second worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
he's really, really awful.
Go to Google and type in U-Bowl, and U-Bowl was like really mad about how people were because originally, so Germany had an interesting law that allowed him to make movies.
Incentive.
Yeah,
it was literally the concept. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the play The Producers. It's literally that idea. Like, if you lose money, you're basically getting you get insurance on your project. You lose money on it. You get paid.
Yeah. So U-Bowl was like made.
It's easier to make something bad.
He made like 5 or 6 movies. Like, it was like a ridiculous amount. And they were all video game titles for it.
So bad.
But I still think
there's one that has a moment that's really funny.
I still think it's not as bad as Double Dragon. I think Double Dragon's the worst one I've seen. If you remember that.
It's been a while since I've seen that one. I'm really liking that the trend's going up, and I feel like it's kind of done this. Like, I enjoyed the Silent Hill movie. I think they did the best they could do with the content. But it is what it is.
I don't know about saying the trend's going up. It's really hard because when you think of the good gaming movies, there's like, you can specifically name them on one hand. I mean, like you got Prince of Persia. The ones that have been made, it's like 3-4 hands. Yeah, they're right. Well, so there was a lot more. I mean, there's a lot more than there was into it. But like Prince of Persia was probably was one of the most popular ones. Is the most. I think it's the highest grossing one. Yeah, and it was not that bad, but it was at the same time it wasn't like super good. But like Assassin's Creed and all that.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. That's a specific one. This article I'm looking at brought up as an 18%. And everyone said it was fine. I hadn't seen that one yet either. So now I'm like dying to see it. And
it's not that good.
I'm planning to see it this week. Yeah, like a lot of them are just like not that good. And I think it's just really nice to see once they start like getting it right. And there was another movie I actually saw same day we had a podcast 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Same day, later in the evening. And I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it and how perfect it was to the original content. And it was the Dead Rising movie.
I never watched that.
It's on Amazon Prime. It is exactly the tone, the everything of Dead Rising. It takes place. It's like the story is like a sequel to, I believe it might be the second game included, but it's definitely a sequel to the first game. So they have an actor that's Frank West in it. And he's literally just doing like commentary on this news thing the whole time while we follow some other characters in like this quarantined off zone, and the humor is there. It actually is like the characters are kind of sharp. Like, you figure out who they are really easy. Nobody's like excessively stupid. It's not it's wacky to the same point that the video game is. And it's just, I haven't seen a video game based movie that is that true to the source material yet. And I was blown away. I was like trying to watch it. I was watching like a bunch of bad zombie movies because I'm writing a zombie script. So I'm like, let's watch some crap, you know?
That's how you
And like I put that on. I'm like, oh my God, this is like really good.
Wow. Okay.
It really was. Like acting was fine. Like it was literally just the exact same tone of like the Dead Rising games, especially like the first, like the earlier ones. I know they get a little bit more crazy, and this one did get crazy, but it was that world. Like it really was, and it felt right as a fan for that series to see that on screen. And I was really mad that I had never even heard about it before. I was literally just perusing. I never heard about it.
Called yeah, but yeah, I mean with Dead Rising and stuff like that, I don't even think they even advertised on it, so I won't even know.
Not at all. It was straight to Amazon Prime, I think. It had no theatrical release or anything.
It just came out there.
It was fun. Yeah, it was really fun. Oh God, who was the guy that played Frank West then? Let me see what's his name. We've seen him in like a billion things. I just saw him in Night School the other day. Rob Wiggle.
Oh,
yeah.
He's
like
the Daily Show.
Daily Show. Oh. So he's been in like a ton of stuff. He's kind of like the not quite like the straight man in like a movie. So he's like always just that one like really awkward dude always. Yeah. And he was that in this, but as Frank West.
I need to see what's it called?
It was so fun.
Remember, like there's, but no, you're totally right though. I think like I think with kind of getting back to what you were saying originally, but with Pokemon, I think Pokemon is definitely a good start to say that maybe it's a good change into the right direction with when it comes to with video games to movies.
I hope so.
But the biggest thing is like it's consistency, and then that's the one thing that has always been missing has always been consistency. For instance, I think remember like I mean there were good ones. I mean like Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat. Everyone
Again,
totally
it's not really
bypassed.
A good movie. But
everyone
it's very
bypassed.
true to being fun and having the same mood and the feel as the original game, and like that's what's important. Like you have to just be true to the source material, even if the source material is kind of crappy.
But have you ever noticed that everyone goes back to Mortal Kombat? No one says peep about Annihilation. No one has not said one thing about like Mortal Kombat Annihilation because how bad it is. So like I'm just saying that it's good enough, weird. You know, or you could do the exact polar opposite with Street Fighter the movie, and then you decide to make an even worse movie with Street Fighter Chun-Li's story. And it's like,
oh my goodness, it was so bad. Okay, yeah, it was so bad. So the thing is with like these adaptations is like there's not going to be consistency in like video game based movies. There's not consistency in remakes, in sequels, in original stuff, in things that are adaptations from books. Like you get crap all across the board, and we're going to just continue to have that with video game stuff. It's just the video game stuff I'd say even more so than like a lot of books and a lot of other things that get adapted have like a really strong fan base. Like there's a lot of books that get adapted and it's kind of easy to do like their dramas or they're just kind of these interesting stories. Video games are always like a little well, to be honest with you, there's not a lot of ones like Heavy Rain where they're just set in like the real world and it's just super nothing crazy is going on. It's not a sci-fi, it's not a drama, it's not a fantasy, it's not art. I'm sorry.
Well, people can make a script for anything, but in my opinion, in my own personal opinion, to me personally, I don't want Hollywood to touch it. Is where it comes down to. Like, I don't trust. I do not trust Hollywood to touch any of these things because they always get it wrong. Because like heck, I mean, look at Sonic for instance. How long has Sonic's iconic look have been around for years now, and yet they still found a way to ruin that.
Butcher it.
Yeah,
look at
to butcher it. Yeah.
It's you never know. Like the thing is, it's about putting it in the right person's hands. Like that. Right. That's the thing, and that is always going to be an issue, and always going to be something that they got to overcome. And video games have this extra thing where, like, they have to make it for the fans, but then they also have to make it for the general populace, and they have to find that middle sweet ground that's just it works for everyone.
That's like, BS. No, I totally understand where you're coming from. What were you saying? What were you saying to me before I get into it?
I was like, well, I mean, I think that's what Pikachu, and all that stuff done. They went all in the fact that, hey, you know, we're just gonna, you know, and I'm not a big like Pokemon person, so I don't know like all the lore and this and that. So like that's a movie for me that I'll be able to enjoy, with my daughter, just because it's going to be fun and she's going to enjoy it. She knows that stuff, even though I don't really I know them. I know the characters and some of this, but I don't have that same backstory stuff. To me, though, it feels like it's a legitimate film. And I think that's the difference. Whereas like a Street Fighter and some of those, like they felt like, hey, we're trying to we're going to stick with this and we're going to put make these weird castings and stuff like that. Whereas this to me feels like a legitimate film that they said we're going balls in with this, and again, I can't speak on the lore part of it. Because I think Detective Pikachu is like a legitimate thing or part of the lore.
Well, they made the Detective Pikachu game. Yeah, they did last year.
Yeah,
but it's very loosely based on it. It's like, cool, there is a Pikachu that is a detective.
Yeah,
Let's
but
do that. And that's like all they do, apparently.
Yeah, but also keep this in mind, though, too. Like, this is the first Nintendo IP that became a movie again after Mario Brothers. And there's a reason why, is because Mario Brothers gave Nintendo such a bad taste in their mouth. Like when they were first in the movies, it was so bad.
How can you do a Mario movie good? Like that's the thing.
But
that's the thing. Like some things are just there's a format for them that just works so much better. And like
30
Mario
years.
is so strongly.
Well, no, you could make a good Mario movie. That's what I'm saying. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to make a good Mario movie. It's not impossible to make a good Mario movie.
Yeah.
It's just that. Dude, like if you remember the original Mario Brothers, that movie of Mario Brothers, it was like night and day. Like it didn't even make a lick of sense to what you ever would have saw in the games. And then
that's the thing, adapting the world that they made. Yeah, I know, it's so funny.
Remember Toad turning?
I love the casting, like not necessarily as them, but I just love both of those actors. It's really funny.
You remember Toad turning into a Goomba, like turned into one of those Goombas and stuff. It was so weird. So weird that they really weird game.
Okay, those things in real life are really, really weird. It's really true. So we'll see. Maybe something like Pokemon, because Pokemon are pretty weird too. Like weird thing. I got a lot of questions about that world. Like, what did they eat?
No, I bet you $1 million bucks.
Like, do they eat the Pokemon? The Pokemon are like really self-aware. This is kind of messed up. Is everyone just vegan? Like, I need to know these things. Why are there like definitely predator Pokemons if they're all vegan? They eat each other, and it's really they all understand English, and they all just eat each other, and it's really weird that there's like language, but they're smart enough.
I just think that what I think with Nintendo itself, I think what Nintendo itself is like, I think that they basically put a trigger, like they were involved. They were more involved in this one than any of their thing ever, because this is Pokemon. This is one of their babies. It's like they won't want that to be deciphered into anything better than a good level. So like when you heard in the backgrounds too, that when they brought, like you said, oh, Ryan Reynolds is going to be Pikachu in the background, we're like, what? How's that going to work?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then
the weirdest casting ever.
Yeah.
But
when the movie came out, it was like, okay, that now I see where they were coming from on this, and they actually made sense on what they were doing. They had a good plot to do it and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy. I think I need to check. You watched Detective Pikachu already, right, Smitty?
I haven't seen it, no.
Oh, I thought you saw it with your daughter.
I know, we're a week behind.
Okay.
I plan on
I actually did plan to see it.
That's a movie for me.
Oh, okay. Okay, we need to cut this short.
For me.
We need to cut this short.
I want to see that one.
All right. So
but yeah, I mean, that's like the adaptations are crazy. Like I've been working at pre-production because I'm doing a Metal Gear Solid short film adaptation for one of the scenes. I know. I'm actually doing 2 versions. I'm doing like a parody as well as like trying to do a couple of dramatic scenes as well. And it's you really want to, there's things you just have to lose versus have to take. And I'm like working with, people. Theoretical amounts of money that I'd be able to gain with crowdfunding. So we'll see. But even then, it's like, well, does this make sense? Does that make sense? What do we do? What do we not do? And even with that, like I'm picking like one of the most tame, not out there, easiest to shoot, hopefully, question marks, things that are going on in it.
Okay, we need to cut. Yeah, we definitely need to cut this short. But sorry to cut you. But there we go.
Those video game movies, man, they're gonna get better. That's what I'm saying.
They are. I agree. I agree. They're going in the right direction.
Very much so. And okay, so then finally, the last one is going to be Smitty. But Smitty, before you start, I just want to also remind people inside the chat that we want a topic from y'all as well. Y'all, I'm Texas when I say that.
Y'all.
But when I say
from I like to say it.
Yeah, from you all. So if you have a topic, if you have a question, or if you have something that you want us to discuss, click on the rooms tab up at the top and just type in whatever you want us to what a topic that you want us to discuss, and we'll do it at the end of the thing here. So, but before we finish that off, let's go with Smitty. Smitty, last but not least, go for it.
Let's do it. So I saw, and so I got an alert. I can't. I this, but I saw something saying that Sony and Microsoft announced a new strategic gaming partnership. This comes from the from comicbook.com. Hold on, I'm going to link the article here.
Okay.
In chat. And
this one I'm excited about hearing.
Super excited. Number one, we know that they have a history of not, some areas not working together, but they have, they do work together on stuff and whatnot. And what they're talking about really is kind of partnering up, announcing the partnership of Microsoft and Sony working on in the cloud space, essentially that and AI. And I don't know, this is the interesting part to me, like them talking about AI solutions, like what kind of AI solutions are they working on? And them, I think it's a good tell as far as them teaming up to work on the cloud space, because that's going to get that. We've already talked about that as far as with gaming consoles, basically not existing anymore because it's all going to be cloud gaming, which seems weird, but they are definitely pushing us in that direction, and it's going to happen whether we like it or not. I think this is a big tell that says that that's going in that direction. The fact that they're teaming up and working on that stuff, working in that space together. But also, I'm wondering if maybe this is that, could this also be the catalyst that starts getting us that crossplay and them working, together within the gaming space and allowing people to, be friends across the platforms.
That'd be so exciting.
That'd be amazing. I've been waiting for that. And I would love to, I have a hard time believing it is going to go in that direction just because of how adamant Sony has been about not doing it. But again, we saw a little push with Fortnite, and then all of a sudden, like, all right, we're gonna let you do, we'll do it for that one, but not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that they're seeing that people like PlayStation. Number one, it's something that they've been using for a long time. They're getting better, with the games and mainly, the exclusives and stuff like that. It's not about if I can play with people on Xbox or not. I'm there for the exclusive titles that, I know I can play this because I have a PlayStation, so I'm really curious to see what direction and where they go with this, but it's really exciting to see that they're teaming up and working in this space.
I personally think that I think it's a good start in my opinion, and I think it's definitely great that they're deciding to do that kind of partnership in that space. But I'm kind of in the mode of like saying I don't think they have a choice, because like when you think about it, when it comes down to cloud services and you talk about cloud infrastructures, and I am a network engineer, so I know how all this stuff works. It's like I don't think that Sony has an infrastructure to do cloud-based services as strong as what Microsoft is, because there's really the three different kinds of people that really are out there that would do it. It's either going to be Microsoft with their Azure series. You also got or you could go with Amazon AWS, but I'm pretty sure Sony doesn't have a bad taste in Amazon's mouth, or they have a taste with Amazon because of the attack that happened back in 2011. And then you also got and you also have Google, which they already have. They're going to have with Stadia. So I think that I think where they're coming from is that I think it's cheaper for them to kind of play good with Microsoft when it comes to that, and I think that it's a good move. It's a good strategic move overall. So because cloud services is going to be expensive now if you're going to start if you don't have a footprint in it already. So I think it's a good step when it comes to crossplay. I just don't know. Sony's too old school is my problem. It's like you were saying, there are big issues with like what happened with Fortnite, and what happened to other games that are cross-play incompatible, like, you know, Rocket League, all these different kinds of things. I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon with them. I think that because the biggest reason why Sony didn't want to do this originally was because of like the microtransactions that Fortnite provided. They were like saying, okay, so where's the cut of the money was going to go to if they don't get it on the Sony PlayStation Store? What if they get it on Xbox? So we don't get any kind of cut for that kind of stuff. Which I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I still kind of feel it's a little petty still to do it. But because you're basically blocking out your whole your whole networking community just because of these transactions. And I mean, and who's to say that? What if your store is going to be the one that's going to be higher in sales? You're treating it that if anyone who gets it on any other system besides yours, it's a loss in sale revenue for you. And I don't know. That's just right. So I don't. So I'm not good with it. But I think that this was a good move. I really am looking forward to see what kind of collaboration they're going to go with it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Like, this is really big. They've been rivals for so long. Like, all those issues you just said might be something of the past. Like, that is a real potential with them actually working together and not being petty, you know?
Yeah, you know what I kind of feel?
Petty.
You know what I kind of feel, though?
So petty.
Yeah, but, like, then again, I kind of feel that this is the same kind of way of, like, a disc drive for Xbox One. Sony gets a cut out of their sales from every disc because it's proprietary technology that everything gets out of it. So maybe it's just the same kind of thing. It's just that like they don't want to spend the money for cloud-based services or AI technology. They want to just have it be. They feel it's probably cheaper to collab than to start their own kind of thing, and then maybe pay a royalty towards that, as opposed to just trying to figure it out themselves. I mean, but no, I definitely feel this is going to be a pretty cool. This is going to be very interesting to see where it's going to go. It's still in its infantile state, but I really think it's really going to be pretty cool.
I think it has like a lot of potential, and it's just really cool to see them and they're, you know, getting along in a sense. So I do see a lot of potential. Like, it's
like
gonna.
Saying like, because they essentially need Microsoft to have, you know what I mean, to be able to step into that space.
Yeah.
In that.
But I'd also like to see
gaming.
Microsoft do a lot of things like more like Sony has too. At the same
right.
time.
Yeah.
So like seeing them both like kind of merge together, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be better.
Yeah. I like to be optimistic about that, but at the same time, I'm very hesitant to believe because I know Sony too, and their petty levels is like 9,000, dude. So
they're just gonna collude and find the best way to cheat all of us and make as much money as possible, and they'll both.
And I don't know that it's necessarily that. You know, I still believe that. I mean, again, we're talking about people and steps and moves at a level that we can't even think of yet. You know, I can't see, you know, from that picture. I don't know what the big picture is. So I'm sure it's just a piece, another step into, you know, that bigger picture and what their long game is, you know. So it's exciting. But regardless, though, it's still exciting to see them coming together and working in that space. So that I think it definitely is going to benefit us as we move forward and move more into that cloud gaming, what that world is going to look like. And some of your brands, you know what I mean? What are they doing? The steps that they're making now to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited for it because I think there's a lot of potential for good or bad or just new interesting things.
Oh, by far. I think the biggest thing is like now, did they say is this going to be like just in space, or are they talking about like gaming wise, and or like what are they planning on doing with this kind of collaboration?
So they're saying, let me just read a little the article. The new partnership will also explore collaboration in the field of AI and semiconductors. Mm-hmm. The latter, this means potential joint development of new intelligent image sensor solutions that will integrate Sony's cutting-edge image sensors with Microsoft's Azure AI technology and Microsoft's cloud technology. With this, the companies are aiming to provide enhanced capabilities for enterprise customers. As for AI, the two will explore incorporation of Microsoft's advanced AI platform and tools in Sony consumer products in order to provide intuitive and user-friendly AI experiences.
Okay, so basically, it's not necessarily gaming wise, but more like using it more as tool based kind of equipment through cloud based services via Microsoft. Okay. I mean, like I said, it starts somewhere.
This topic is just completely inappropriate for this podcast. Why did you?
So I didn't read the top part, but it does. Yeah, no, it does. So it says the original thing. It says that the two team up to enhance customer experiences in their direct-to-consumer and entertainment platform and AI solutions, which will feature collaboration on new cloud-based solutions for gaming experiences.
Okay.
I like that. I like that a lot.
They are working in that gaming space as well.
So crossplay is the biggest thing. Is going to be the biggest thing, and like hopefully, gosh, I really hope that they tone it down with PS5 when it comes to that kind of stuff, because that's what it just seems like where it's going to come down to. It's just like they need to kind of find that medium on where or how they will want to play nicely with other systems to do that kind of thing. But because like it's really annoying that you feel like you're going to be landlocked, especially like if you're console playing Overwatch, you can't play with PC players, you can't play with Xbox players, and I am so surprised that game is not out on Switch. But but like it's just like if there's going to be a level where that break off is going to be, it just needs to be a sit down agreement on like, okay, how are the funds going to be split, or how is this all going to work? Because like I don't know, Sony's weird this way. It's like they don't need because they're well over number one right now, so that they probably don't feel like they need to play nicely with anybody, because it's already been proven that the system has won this gen's kind of game. But like I just don't like that mentality, man. It's just like it's really hurting gamers gamers alike just to deal with some of the kind of levels of pettiness that they're introducing.
Yeah. It's like kicking somebody when they're already down, It's actually like, take it easy, man. Like you won. Like we give up. We waved the white flag. Let's move forward now, please.
Yeah. It's crazy. But so no, I mean that was definitely I definitely. So we'll see how this all goes. Hopefully we'll hear something about it very soon, and we'll go from there, So oh wow, that was a good. I definitely like that. Did you have anything else to say, Sesh or Smitty, about it, or are we all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
That was I was excited.
I'm excited. Sounds cool. Never would have thought it,
I'll take this.
As soon as I see it, I sent you guys a message. Did you guys see this?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I didn't even read it.
They're both going to combine forces and make a new Smash Brothers game, but it's we'll take on Nintendo together.
Combine and become Captain Planet.
Except for the All Stars, just not that one.
It's not that one. Everyone else is fine.
It's not that one. They're gonna do it again. It's just a reboot.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Microsoft this time.
All right, so let's go check and see if there's anything inside the room.
What's chat saying? What do we got?
What is this? Kohaku Moon says favorite movie candy and / snack. Let's see. Is it? Was that today, Kohaku Moon? I just want to make sure if that's today's, because I do see the previous one.
That is.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it
that wasn't there before.
Okay,
I checked.
Okay, cool. Oh, I guess we might as well go with that. Simple as that. Okay, favorite movie candy / snacks. God, it's funny. I don't usually like to snack that much at the theater, but I guess if I did.
What are you talking about?
I'm actually kind of the same.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even get popcorn half the time. I love it. I really love it. And I have a whole system. You buy a popcorn, but then you ask for one of like the nacho boxes. So you lay it all flat. So you get salt on the entire surface. And then you got the two little cup holders, or the cheese holders for the nacho boxes. You just put napkins and salt in there. Or if you do get a drink, one of those. And you're set with this perfect box with just perfect layer of salt all over the top of it.
Oh my god,
you don't want to be mixing it. And it's great. But I do that like maybe not even a third of the time. because like I eat popcorn a lot at home too. So I'm like, okay, outside popcorn, inside popcorn. I like them both.
The only one that I go with is I guess if I had to choose one, it would be like I can't eat regular. I don't like eating movie popcorn. So if I did, I would. Movie popcorn is just too weird. It's like I like kettle corn though. Kettle corn is good.
Yeah, no, I mean,
kettle corn is the is the bomb. Well, no, I'm just saying. Like it's like if I had to choose with popcorn, it would have to be kettle corn. Kettle corn with the with like there's some places that have the flavoring and stuff. So so if you put kettle corn, then you put a little bit of caramel and then a little bit of the caramel powder, and then a little bit of the white cheddar on the top.
Sweet popcorn's always just too sweet for me.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, I don't eat popcorn. I don't eat that much popcorn. So when I do, I eat that.
I can't imagine watching a movie without having popcorn.
Really?
I can't do it. I can't go to the movie theaters and not have popcorn. I only go to the movie theaters, you know what I mean? It's got to be like a really big thing, a big movie that I'm excited to see, to actually go see in theaters. Otherwise, I'll just wait for it to come out. But every time I go, I have to have the biggest popcorn I could possibly have. You got to layer the butter, you know what I mean? Maybe throw a little extra.
Do the box thing. I tell you, the box thing will change your life with the butter and the salt. Yeah, just like, hey, come on, salt boxes. You just put it in there. You got 2 serving. Oh, it's perfect.
Have you ever heard of
That's all I need, though.
Have you ever heard of Wopcorn?
Maybe a butterfree.
Wopcorn.
Wopcorn. Yeah, that's my friend has it all the time. It's so you have Whoppers, right? Like you know Whoppers, the candy.
Oh.
Yeah. So you put Whoppers. You put the Whoppers, the candy, in between the halfway mark of the popcorn, so it heats up, so it melts. So the Whoppers melt. So it's a nice gooey, chocolatey deal with it.
No, I actually just heard about that. I think it was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm like just now watching that show.
Yeah,
that's a great show.
He had a whole fight with someone. I think I remember rating it. Like just like she wanted that, and he's just like, no, just do that in your own popcorn. I don't want that.
Yeah. Oh God, Larry David. That's all I can definitely see.
Oh my goodness, he is incredible.
No, I don't like the smell of chocolate.
I don't like. Yeah, me neither. I'm also the same way too.
I'm not. I like chocolate just like a little bit. Like I could never do like an entire chocolate.
Do you know what is actually pretty good though too? I like having a nice crisp. Oh well, yeah, nice crispy pickle, like a hot pickle.
Oh, pickles! Pickles are amazing though.
Really
new level. Have you tried dill pickle popcorn?
No, I'm never gonna try that. I will never try that.
No, it's amazing. If you like pickles, it's amazing.
If I like pickles, I'll get a pickle.
I started doing it at home. No, because popcorn's amazing.
Oh my gosh, so that's disgusting.
You do a little bit of pickle
I gotta try that out.
You do some butter and you add like just some dill and mix it all up. It's delicious. I do a ton. I do eat a lot of popcorn actually. Like I eat it a lot on my stream. I eat it a lot on my stream. Like I'm just like I'm chill. I do it. I just don't go and spend the money usually in the movie theaters because I see the amount of movies I see. I would not be able to eat that much popcorn. Like I watch a crap ton of movies.
No, you're right.
But like I'll stream and I'll do it. And I've gotten to do this thing on my stream where it's spatula popcorn. Okay. So what you do is you literally just eat it with a spatula. You mix it with a spatula because you don't want to get your hands dirty.
What the heck is wrong with Sesh?
You eat it. It's amazing. Spatula popcorn. Like we've seen, you know, in Japan they're doing the chopsticks popcorn, and for the chips, you know, they use chopsticks. Yeah, they have like special, you know, because
that doesn't mean it's right.
It is right. You get to shovel popcorn in your face with a spatula. It's right.
Oh my God. Okay, fine.
Interesting.
Okay, so we all like popcorn apparently. That's where we're going with. So thanks for your topic, Kohaku Moon. We'll figure it out what we're going to do more because I want more people to be doing this kind of thing. I love that random discussion. Thanks for throwing us off into this tangent.
Yeah.
Box popcorn at the theaters. Get that extra box, man. It's perfect.
Okay. All right. So, okay, folks. Thank you for checking us out on CFG Gamecast episode number 8. You can definitely check all our Twitches out, CFG Games. We're actually going to be doing, in about probably 5-10 minutes, we're going to start playing some Monster Hunter Worlds. So you can definitely check us out on CFG Games on that. Go on Review Sesh. Check her Speederman run on
Speederman
runs at night. Usually play at night, right, Sesh? I don't.
Yeah, and it's definitely gonna probably be my routine from here on out.
Oh,
I
okay.
usually just leave it as like the last thing I do in the day. So I'm like, I did everything. Time to stream and then sleep.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And you can check out Smitty2447. Check out his variety of Overwatch and probably some more Division 2 streaming. Usually on third. Yeah, we'll hope. Let's pray for your stream to work correctly. But it's always great to see everyone do that. So thank you so much for stopping by. Next week, I don't know what's going to happen next week because I know Sesh is going to be at Phoenix Fan Fest.
But I'll have my laptop and I am very flexible. So
we'll see.
We need to do maybe an earlier one on Saturday. Like I'm totally down if we need to do Friday night.
That's slowly killing.
I think I'm down for that too.
That's killing Smitty, so no, I don't want to do that.
No,
so we'll
Sunday,
figure.
All good. Whenever you guys need it, and I'm flexible. The Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I will be at Phoenix Comic Con, taking a whole load of fun pictures, seeing what I find that's fun, and all the great cosplays there. Phoenix Comic Con's actually a pretty dang big one. There's a lot of really good stuff there, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So I mean, find me on my other social media too, I guess, if y'all in chat, because that's more consistent on that than streaming.
If anything. All right, but that's cool. And but everyone, thank you for stopping by. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.